what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time we're going to go over to Complex, and this is in the celebrities column, and it says it's been a lot going on, accusations of Fat Joe and the rapper known as Pistol Pete, and alleged ties to some very unsavory things. But this is what Complex has in this article for us. Fat Joe's former hype man accused him of ordering assaults on DMX and Mack Maine. I will list the article right and all of the details in the description, as I always do. But it says Fat Joe has been accused of directing assaults on both DMX and Mack Maine in a $20 million lawsuit from former hype man Terrence Dixon. In a civil complaint documents filed this week, as viewed by Complex, Dixon, who Joe previously sued for extortion and defamation, said he worked for Joe for over 16 years, both as his hype man, but also allegedly as a lyricist, a background vocalist, security team member, and creative collaborator. What does the lawsuit against Fat Joe say about Mack Maine? Deep into the 157-page filing, Dixon alleges that Joe once ordered him to physically assault Mack Maine as retaliation for a remark he made about Joe's wife. According to Dixon, he and others in Joe's circle were instructed to pound out Maine if they saw him. This would be alleged assault per Dixon was ultimately not carried out. In docs reviewed by Complex, this alleged instance of ordering the plaintiff to assault Mack Maine, is argued as a chargeable offense under the law in New York and Florida. What does the lawsuit against Fat Joe say about DMX? Joe is alleged to have had ordered Dixon and other associate in Miami and Florida to confront and physically assault the late DMX. It claims this was in response to a verbal dispute between X and someone in Joe's circle, though like the main claim, that would be alleged assault ultimately never occurred. If he acts up, take the hammer. Joe is alleged to have told the plaintiff, who said in the complaint that verbal directives of this type were treated as mandatory. This particular alleged instance, as argued in court docs, supports multiple predicate acts of racketeering under federal and state law. What did Fat Joe say about his former hype man, Terrence Dixon? In April, Joe sued Dixon for extortion and defamation in connection with countless posts on social media featuring wholly fabricated, grotesque, and scandalous allegations. Also named in Joe's filings was Dixon's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, who was previously reported to have had his tactics as an attorney criticized by a federal judge. Blackburn's name has also been heard in connection with Rodney Little Rod Jones' suit against Diddy, who's now in the middle of a federal racketeering and trafficking trial. What else has Fat Joe and his legal team said? The lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first, which exposed their collaborative scheme to extort Mr. I'm gonna say Fat Joe because I do not want to butcher anybody's name. Through lies, threats, and manufactured allegations. Joe Tacopina, apologies, Fat Joe's lawyer said in a statement issued Thursday, June 19th. We did not just sue for disgruntled former employee trying to revive a false claim from 15 years ago. We sued the lawyer behind it all. Tyrone Blackburn has a well-documented pattern of abusing the courts to harass defendants and generate media attention. Tacopina continued. Two separate federal judges have condemned his conduct, one for filing headlines clashing lawsuits full of scandalous and baseless claims, and another for making repeat legal misstatements and personal attacks in court filings. He is now the subject of a pending referral to the Southern District Disciplinary Committee. Law enforcement is aware of the extortive demand at the heart of this scheme. The allegations against Mr. Joe are complete fabrications, lies intended to damage his reputation and force a settlement through public pressure. Mr. Joe will not be intimidated. We have taken legal action to expose this fraudulent campaign and hold everyone involved accountable. This is the end of the article right there, and rightfully so. Every person has a right to due process. That seems to be on multiple fronts. An issue, especially when it comes to the administration. But sticking to this article, I did watch a video of the breakdown. Ticket TV. If you're not familiar and you want a full breakdown with the legal documents he was reading on his live, please go check out Ticket TV. There is a lot, and when I say a lot of ins and outs and goings-ons and allegations of state to state travel for some unsavory things. Believe me, Ticket TV puts it all on his page. Like I said, go check out Ticket TV. Another thing, besides all that, Fat Joe was in the news for being very reckless with his mouth. He has been very reckless with his mouth. Some of his allegations include fraud, PPP fraud loan, association with individuals that are not legally allowed to sign any contracts or documents, all types of things. It was accused in the court filings that I seen that the rapper Pistol Pete, he was essentially the head as far as like the muscle, the one that carried out the directives, and allegedly, and this is all alleged, and Joe was, the one that was calling the shots. Unfortunately, as always, I'm not sure why, but Rock Nation was brought up in the allegations as well, and they are in the court documents. Members of Rock Nation, I'm going to just say that because I'm not fully and totally, versed on all the ins and outs. This is just stuff that I have seen in articles that I've read prior to making this video. So, at this point, am I not surprised? No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about anything that is being said and that's been going on. But like I said, court of public opinion is one thing. However, due process is another thing. And I mean, rightfully so, just like in this article when it stated about the attorney Blackburn, he has had issues. He actually was brought up in the Diddy trial last week by a witness that said she had to no longer work with him or have him represent her because when he filed her case, he alleged that it was some alleged groping or uh, SA involved. And she said at that time she had to find other representation because it was not true, and she didn't want to be associated, I'm assuming, with the allegation that Diddy did something more than what he did to her. Not saying that he hasn't done that to anyone else. This is just one specific person. So, you have that. Also, he's been in the news for countless of other people that he has represented that he no longer represents. Some people would consider him as an ambulance chaser. Some people would consider him as, like the article stated, he tends to embellish a lot of things to get the media attention and the court of public opinion stirring and things of that nature. How much of that is true is totally up to you and what you believe. Um, I really haven't heard about Tyrone Blackburn until all of this stuff started coming out about, Diddy before the trial, and all of the people that saying they were victims that, were, you know, things like that were exposed or not exposed or got quiet after a while. It's a lot of moving parts with all of this stuff, but I would not definitely be surprised if all of it was not connected. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. And when I say connected, I don't mean that necessarily it's in a legal manner or whatever the case is. If the evidence is valid, then it will be shown and it will be, considered by someone that's qualified, a judge that's qualified to hear these types of things. But until then, and until we get another update, drop down in the comments section. I would definitely love to hear from you. Come chop it up with me. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Or, treat your girl to a coffee or a donut or something. You know what I mean? Or, that's pretty much it. And I would not leave this video or any video without showing my gratitude and saying thank you for watching my videos, because I truly do appreciate each and every person that has stopped past to watch my videos. And with that, you guys, I will get with you in the next one. And don't forget, always remember, be good to yourself first.